All right, let's jump right into this explainer and uncover a pretty massive secret. Your cat isn't just acting chaotic. They're actually speaking a highly logical, ancient language that we, humans, well, we constantly misread it. Today, we're decoding the secret language of cats, pulling directly from veterinary behaviorists to finally figure out what our furry companions are actually trying to tell us.
So we're starting with the ultimate feline betrayal. You absolutely know the exact scenario I'm talking about. You're chilling on the couch, happily petting your cat. They're lovingly licking your hand, purring away, and then, bam! Suddenly they chomp down, leaving you completely baffled and maybe nursing a tiny little mark. Seriously, why do they do this? Are they just being moody?
Section 1. Strange Behaviors, Hidden Meanings.
Before we crack the case of the lick then bite, we have to establish one foundational rule. Literally every bizarre thing your tiny apex predator does actually has a deeply rooted biological purpose. It's crazy how much our human interpretations get it completely wrong. Like when they knock a glass off the table, they aren't just being jerks. They're actually running a scientific investigation of cause and effect. Or when they put their backside right in your face. It feels like an insult, right? But it's actually them transferring scent from their glands as a massive compliment of deep trust. And you know that weird chattering sound they make at birds out the window? That's not just frustration. It's them practicing a primal rehearsal bite for a hunting sequence.
For example, think about the number 20. Cats absolutely love sleeping on top of you simply because their ideal environmental temperature is about 20 degrees higher than ours. So, to them, you aren't just a comfortable cushion, you are a giant, highly trusted heat source, helping them conserve their body heat.
Section 2. The Lick. Allo grooming and love.
Now, what's really fascinating here is that a cat's lick is way more profound than just a simple kiss. In the wild, this behavior is known as allo grooming. When that sandpaper-like tongue licks you, they are essentially acting as social glue. They're blending your scents together and marking you as family in a ritual that's reserved only for those they deeply, deeply trust. They are literally pulling your scent onto their tongue and leaving theirs on your skin, essentially saying, hey, you belong to me.
And this specific behavior traces all the way back to kittenhood. Think about a mother cat. She constantly licks and gently nips her babies to clean them, stimulate their blood flow, and keep them close. So the lick and the nip, they arrive together right from the very first moments of life. To a cat, these two actions aren't opposites at all. They are actually two halves of the exact same maternal language.
Section 3. The Pet and Bite Syndrome. So this brings us back to our main question. If the lick is an expression of pure maternal affection, why does the bite inevitably follow? Well, it's because a cat's hair follicles and nerve endings have a notoriously low threshold for sensory input. The skin along their back, the base of their tail, and their sides, these areas are extraordinarily sensitive. As you repeatedly pet them, it builds up a physical, sensory charge. So what starts as affectionate allo-grooming slowly tips right over a biological threshold and turns into complete sensory overstimulation.
So rather than a random mood swing, that sudden bite is just a clear punctuation mark. To sum it up perfectly, the bite means we're done now. It's punctuation, not protest. Your cat really isn't being rude. They're just telling you, in literally the only vocabulary they possess, that the physical moment has reached its absolute limit and is now complete.
Now, while the classic lick then bite is usually all about those sensory thresholds, it's worth noting that other bites can stem from completely different roots. For instance, kittens separated from their litter too early might just lack bite inhibition during rough play. Or a bite could be redirected aggression. Like, maybe they saw a bird outside, got super worked up, and took it out on the closest thing, which happens to be you. It could also just be a sign of unseen pain, dental issues, or sheer frustration from feeling totally out of control.
Section 4. Reading feline warning signs.
Fortunately, your cat is almost always warning you before they reach their breaking point. We just haven't learned to speak their physical language yet. But if you watch closely, you will see a very specific sequence of microexpressions. First, you'll see the tail start a slow, low flick. Next, their ears might rotate back or flatten out slightly. And finally, the skin along their spine will give this quick little ripple. Guys, these are not subtle cues to them. They are a flashing neon warning sign shouting that a bite is coming.
Oh, and just as a quick aside here, beware the belly trap. Even if your cat rolls over to show you trust, the hair follicles on their belly are hypersensitive to protect their vital organs. This makes belly rubs a super fast track to an overstimulation bite. When they show you their belly, it's a friendly greeting and a huge sign of safety, but yeah, it is usually not an invitation to rub it like you would a dog.
Section 5. How to respond properly.
So how exactly do we handle these boundaries and ensure we're deepening our bond rather than fracturing it? This is exactly where human and cat psychology clash big time. You absolutely must resist the human instinct to pull back harshly, yell, or scold, because that only confuses the cat. To a feline brain, our punishment just reads as confusing rejection. The feline solution is actually so much simpler. Calmly stop petting the very moment you see those warning signs. No reaction, no drama, just pause.
Because here's the secret. Respecting the bite actually deepens the trust. By backing off a half second before they hit that threshold, you teach your cat that their boundaries are respected. This makes them feel heard and incredibly safe with you. In fact, the cats who bite the hardest are very often the ones whose subtle signals have gone unread for the longest time. When they finally realize they are being heard, that biting tends to naturally soften on its own.
To maintain this newfound harmony, you can use a few practical steps to redirect their pent-up crepuscular or dawn and dusk energy. First, keep your petting sessions short and sweet. Let them be the ones to initiate the physical contact. You can also redirect all that hunting energy with feather wands or puzzle feeders so they aren't treating you like prey. And absolutely most importantly, never ever use your hands as toys.
So, we'll wrap up this explainer by challenging you to look at your feline friend with a brand new sense of empathy. Think about it. If your cat has been speaking to you this whole time, what other secret messages have you been missing in their everyday behaviors? The next time they lick your hand, remember the profound compliment they are actually giving you. If you observe their signals and respect their boundaries, I promise you, you'll find an entirely new level of trust waiting for you.